using the step sequencer, part 1. So what we're going to do in this particular tutorial is go over the step sequencer in a lot more detail, starting with the basics of what each of the things on this little screen do and how to use some of them. I think before we even get to there, though, we need to talk about the tempo of the song, because that's going to determine what some of these different items mean. That's found right here, and it stands for how many beats per minute there are. So 140 means that there's going to be 140 beats that take place in the duration of a single minute. Now, each of these beats here are broken down by color, alternating colors, and the first beat here represented by 4 different little steps, the second beat represented by 4, and so on. So that allows us to have different beats with subdivisions as well. So it gives us 4 subdivisions per beat. So in each minute we're going to have 140 of this length of amount of notes. Let's play this so you can hear it again. So if we played these on every beat, over a minute you can count them, you'd have 140. And as we demonstrated a little bit before, this allows us to set how many beats there are. So we have 1 beat with 4 subdivisions, 2 beats, 3 beats, 4 beats. And if we pull this all the way down, it gives us the defaults of 4 beats. Now you can see me drawing in notes. This is using the left click on the mouse. Now if I want to turn them off, I use the right click on the mouse. So that's one way to get these on and off. And it's pretty handy. We can draw by holding with the mouse clicked and then moving across there. Same with turning them off. Right click, hold, and drag, and it'll turn them all off. So that's pretty easy to do. So let's draw a note here, and let's push this up to 1 beat, and let's turn on each of these notes. And let's pull the tempo pretty far down so you can hear what the swing is doing. And let's push play, and I'll adjust the swing, and you can hear how each alternating note here is being pushed back in time, and then as I pull this back, you'll hear them straighten right back out. Okay, so that is what swing is doing. It's allowing us to swing alternating divisions of each of the beats. Pull this back down to here, erase those using the right mouse, put one back up into there. So, all of this is designed to let us create a rhythm of some kind, but it's not all. We can create lots of things with this. For instance, we can click on each of these 2 buttons to allow us to have more control. So say I want to add a little bit of a ghost beat, or a beat that's a lot softer before this downbeat. I'm going to click on this, which allows us to see velocity. At least that's the default. And I can click and turn this quite a bit down. Let's play this. So it triggers this one at a much softer velocity than the one following it, and allows us to add a little bit more humanness or a little bit of variety to the beat. Now this we can scale left and right, and allows us to change different parameters. The panning, which in a stereo field refers to the left speaker and the right speaker, so we can actually pan this to one or the other. We can also change the release time or the release velocity, which a lot of these different plugins don't have anything to do, but it is an option. We can get to that later in a more advanced area. And then some different modulation and some pitch, and then shifting it. So we can actually pitch shift this as well. You can hear it's a lot higher and stubbier up at the top there. So the primary thing you're going to use here, though, is the velocity. Okay, so that's that. The other thing we have control over is actually changing the note that it triggers. So right now each of these are triggering C, and we can change this to other notes. And if we click on this in an area that doesn't have one activated here, it actually turns it on as well. As you can see from this one, it actually turned it on. I'm going to right click on it to turn it back off. We don't want it on there right now. And this turns on portamento as well, which allows it to actually pitch shift between the two notes, with this one being the original and then shifting into the next one. So that's another option as well. So that's what these do. Let's stop here for a moment because we have some more to cover here, but we'll get into it in part 2.